right? If I change the thing and I say let's just do this because this will work better, and then you apologize, then I feel bad. So don't make me feel bad for enjoying doing my job, because that's all that you're doing is you're making me feel bad. So don't make me feel bad. All right, we're gonna continue that playthrough that we had. We're elf centric. We just built a what do you call it? A Twitch hiccuping? Not on my end. Try refreshing, oh man, really. We've got a lot of livestock. And apparently, somebody died of heat exposure. On an island. How the fuck did you get out there? Well, that's interesting. It's a child. Huh. Alright. Well then. Probably on your end? Probably. That's unfortunate, though. Hopefully it improves. Going to do, like, this. Just so that we can gather that body up. Yep. See, I can see it perfectly there, oh man, really. So something I want to try is I want to try doing lots of little houses. Because I've just been kind of doing these larger houses, and then all of these, like, in the underground area housing. And I want to try and expand up in this area and do more bigger housing, and then just, like, we've still got this whole up top area, right? Think about building, like, a big old wall right here, and then all the way down here on this side, building a big old wall across as well. Maybe up to here. Because we have this lovely big bay. I want to fill this entire, like, mountain up with housing. So. If anybody is completely unfamiliar with this game, feel free to ask questions. I have enough time in it now that I kind of can competently speak on it. Not going to say that I know what I'm talking about with this game, but I'm not incompetent, so. This is Songs of Six, a very large-scale, ambitious city builder. It's a little rough in a few spots, but where it's rough, it makes up for it in, like, kind of insanity. Currently, we have 645 people in our population, 132 soldiers. 593 of them are happy. Some of them are getting upset because, well, I just brought in new people, and new people are always upset. We've got military training going on down here. We got farming, more farming, tons of more farming. This is all livestock. That's our main income source, actually, is selling the meats from the livestock. What's our amount right now? I wish you could pop out the sources, but we have no gems. We're gonna have to do importing of certain more advanced materials. This is the nicer housing area over here. So this is a game you need to invest more time into. Any recommended tutorials for people new to the game? I don't know of any tutorials for this game. I know that there are a few. I'm not the sort of person who sits down and watches tutorials. I just kind of bang my head against a thing until I figure it out. I mean, there's obviously like a few examples of me watching tutorials, but it's very few and far between. I don't really watch video tutorials, so maybe I'm just kind of a bad person to ask for that. Just make around this big, nice and small. I'm just trying to make like single. Actually, yeah, that's too big. All right, so let's try like 5x4 apartment. 50% efficiency, 100% efficiency. And add in a carpet, throw in a door. Room does not have a suspicions. What? Can't enter it. That. All right, so I guess I do need to expand the wall a little bit. How's that? Let's remove that. Expand the wall by 1. Add in a door. How big does it need? Okay, so it needs to be able to be big enough to fit in 4 services. So I guess it needs to be big enough to have 4 apartments in it then. Could do that. I wanted to make them just like singular ones, but inside instructions? I mean, that just seems like trial and error. I don't think that there's any real like tutorial or way to tutorialize that. I don't know. I'm not a huge tutorials person. I didn't like this game wasn't easy, but it also I didn't find it to be particularly complicated. Like I've certainly seen people commenting that this game's very difficult, but maybe I'm just broken because I certainly didn't have that problem. All right, well, that's kind of crappy. Oh, that's not gonna fit. Play enough DF, anything seems complicated? No, I think if you just play enough video games, everything just, it just becomes levels of intuitive. It's like, how intuitive is this? It's either very intuitive or it's not intuitive. And that's like the 2 ways it can go, right? And I never found this game to be particularly difficult to kind of wrap your head around. Like I said, maybe I'm broken. I don't know. Let's see if I can make this work. I've never had this problem before, and I'm not... Oh, okay, hold on. The amount of objects needed to operate this room needs to require... Okay. So in order for this room to operate, it needs... Well, actually, hold on. I wonder... Okay, so no, I need 2 more apartments to actually that way. I don't really want to do it that way though. How about you? What's your minimum service for dorms? It's like I wouldn't be against just building tiny ass dorms. Try building just a really small dorm over here. You finally figured out Tarn's kind of crazy? Yeah, Tarn's kind of crazy is a predictable crazy. This is just like its own brand of weird. But I think like for me, the hardest thing to learn was that there's a skill tree here. It took me like 10 hours to find this skill tree. I'm not even exaggerating with that. Like that's just about how long it took me to find the skill tree. But once I found the skill tree, like the game became significantly easier. So I do just have these. All right, so let's do that. So there is actually a reasoning why I'm building these small housing things. You have a reason for it. The reason is there's an achievement in this game for having 500 buildings in your city. So I figure building lots of really tight, small housing units in kind of a slum style would be a good way about getting a lot of buildings. And maybe also look pretty cool. Also, we need more housing, right? I should just fill this back thing out. Let's close the room copier. Also, chat investments are open if you want to invest your tickets again. Here, I'll do it. I'm really happy with how the interview with this game turned out. The next interview I want to do, or actually there's two that I kind of have lined up that are like interested in doing interviews. I want to do one with King Under the Mountain, just because like I've been doing a lot of these types of games, so I figure King Under the Mountain is one I should get. It's just a matter of that developer having time. And then the other one that I want to do is a game called Obsidian Prince. A neat little puzzle roguelike. But I need to play more Obsidian Prince to do the Obsidian Prince one. There we go. Put all the knickknacks over here in the corner. Let's just make these nice and small. 11% per, yeah, that's fine. $27%. 800. Put 2 doors in. And make a little square carpet and just plop square carpets around. Noms posted in community? Ooh. Also, this is just a side note. So I'm going to try... So someone earlier was asking if Twitch is twitching. I think Twitch is twitching. Yeah, I don't have any sub badges for anybody. Nobody in my chat has sub badges right now. Interesting. Also, Twitch is claiming I have 0 subscribers. Well. No. Yeah. No. But I like most of you still are like, you guys are mostly subscribed. Like, but also like you click on the username and it doesn't list them. That's not true. Yeah, can confirm. Welp. Good morning, Twitch, I suppose. It's not on your side? Nope. I think we're all seeing that. Oh, all right. Good morning, Twitch. Evidence, yes. Post emotes if you're subbed. It's like the good old days before we had sub badges. But in regards to this game, just like shout if you need help with particular things, or like if you're confused about something in this game and I can do my best to like point you at the right UI. Because this game's learning this game's a lot like learning Dwarf Fortress. It's just a matter of like learning the UI logic, and once you understand the UI logic and what it's trying to communicate, it becomes a lot easier. And once you actually know what you need to keep your people alive, it becomes a lot easier. Unfortunately, this is a game that is quite easy to keep your people alive once you know what to do. Doesn't even show you emotes, not even global ones. Interesting. You can only do smiley faces? Well, I mean, try typing in like... without the spaces. Like, or rather, try to use the like colons. Type in a colon and see if it'll autocomplete. Because it might. Might let you go that route. So in this playthrough, we've had several riots. And the reason we've had several riots, is because why is this one like build itself? The reason we had several riots is because I bought a whole bunch of slaves and freed them too quickly. Well, you have to spell crypt correctly. You spelled it with an I, not a Y. Weird. All right. Well, I mean, I guess Twitch is broken. I mean, what else is new, chat? As long as it's not showing you guys back to ads, even with you guys being subbed, this will be good. Hey, Tech Good. But anyway, yeah, no, this game's not actually that bad. I mean, like, there's definitely like some elements about it that are like kind of tricky, but it's not that bad. I've got people fixing these. Apparently, a bunch of my rooms got broken during the riot. They're like rebuilding a bunch of stuff. Putting that together as well. We having sub problems? Apparently. Apparently, yeah. Yeah. More pork? More pork? What? Oh, for the livestock? Luckily, you still got mine. Just don't drink and work, yeah? Because I'm pretty sure you're working with power tools, as you usually say. Anyway, how you doing, animal? Pork for the pork gods. Pork for the pork roll! I need to find a place that makes pork. Where I can get a pork roll sandwich. It, like, doesn't exist here. One of the few things I can actually get in the States that I can't get in Canada. Got some dudes trapped behind those buildings. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. That's how you know that this game's actually exactly like Dwarf Fortress. All right, let's They also don't seem particularly interested in, like, saving themselves. Huh. You know, you could just, like, dig out, right? I mean, or don't. What's your call?
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing, animal? I know I already said hi to you, but you get, like, a double hello. Blind IRL doesn't have any emotes to unlock? Really? I'm gonna have to press X to doubt that. It's one of those, like, Blind IRL doesn't have any emotes to lock. Bet! All right, let's copy more rooms. Now, something I am actually wondering about the UI in this game. Is there a way to see how many buildings I have currently? Because if there is, I haven't found it. I was kind of looking for it. because that's something I would like to see. All right, so this is going... This eatery also needs to get reconstructed. Because these bloody riots that we had... Fortunately, like, they've all been sorted because we executed all of the rioters. But, or rather, put them all in prison, I think is actually what we did. Yeah. The actual... Where's the thing? Yeah. We got 4 prisoners. Live here. We also have, like, a thing to sell slaves. Also building taverns went a pretty long way to unpiss off people. And we're importing a lot of alcohol. So, all the benefits. You need to unlock a flex emote? I guess so. Also, I'm taking a peek at that noms that you posted, Benian. Looks tasty. I made a lot of food last night and didn't post any pictures. I don't even feel bad. I had roasted yams, or a yam, I guess. I had asparagus. I had asparagus and green beans and rice tofu dish. It was tasty. And he's such a good cook. I mean, lots of talented people. On the Halcyon Frequency Discord, this is just kind of a fact. Made them that little pond to sit in, to have somewhere to just kind of hang out. How's the underground area doing? Mostly just building housing right now. Like, that's the vast majority of what I'm doing. The thing is, we're going to need to increase our food output pretty soon. First day of looking for a job and you already want to vent. Fresh graduates welcome. 1 year of experience required. Welcome to the real world, I suppose. If you really want to see some like good postings like that, Tygo, go to the subreddit anti-work. There's a lot of like new hires welcome. It's like required 5. It's like a programming job. It's like 5 years JavaScript experience, 8 years HTML experience. It's like new hires. What? It's like it straight up says just like new hires, no work experience required, and then just like but we require like 15 years of programming experience combined. It's like, but what if I haven't been old enough to work for that long? How do you expect to actually gain employees? I saw this really good comment of somebody who's just like, this is why I always apply for jobs with fake resumes and then, like, have a panic attack and don't follow up when they respond. And for some reason, that's just way too funny to me. Did I build a janitor out here? Yes, I did. At least the area is pretty clean. I love how this is the guard post, and there's just, like, a child sleeping on it. It's like, this is the guard post, right? So I've got 3 guards here hanging out. 3 soldiers, just, like, trained and hanging out at the guard post. And then there was just, like, a child sleeping on the guard post. Well, it's just like, you know, before like my stream started to be profitable enough where I could actually make like a living doing this, and I was making like a part-time living, but not quite enough of a part-time living. I don't need to buy any more slaves. That caused enough problems last time. When I was in that position, there was a period there where I was applying for jobs in the games industry, and I was applying for a lot of community management positions. Because that's what I have experience in, managing my community. And the most common response I got was like, we need someone with community management experience. It was like, I responded, I was like, well, could you define that? Because like I feel like I have a lot of experience in that field. And then they said, no, legitimate community management experience. This is the one response that I will always remember, which is no, we're looking for legitimate community management experience, not self-taught community management experience. I have a question. How is that not legitimate? Like, what? How is being self-taught not legitimate? I'm not even mad because that was like multiple years ago now, but like, what? Because poop reasons, I suppose. What even is self-taught experience? I mean, I think it was a lady that was responding audio, but what even is self-taught experience? What I do. So like, somebody who's like self-taught in community management would be like anybody who runs a Twitch stream would be self-taught in community. Anybody who, you know, never worked in games and then like built a community and a game around that community would be self-taught in community. Exactly. Tekud. I mean, in reality, I think it was just the a polite way of saying we don't want to hire Twitch streamers. Which, you know, fair. I get it. We're not always the best people. But applying for jobs in the current year is a scary thing, and I don't envy anybody who's trying to do it. Good luck, Tago. I hope that you find something. Hey, Shin Guards, what's up? Exactly your thoughts as a hiring manager. This is just sounds like code speak for sorry, mate. Not a good fit here. Yeah. Which, you know, it's totally fair. Which is why I said I'm not even mad. I mean, when I applied for that particular position, it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get this. I was shocked to even get a response. I'm still to this day trying to figure out the fuck is self-taught experience. Self-taught? That's a very exclusive role that only Bethesda has, and they're never hiring for that position because there's only one of them. Job needs a resource that is unobtainable. I need to hack down more trees. Because apparently I managed to use all of the wood. Although admittedly I have been building a lot of wooden structures, so it's not too surprising. Grow like in DF here? Yeah, except time moves way faster than in DF. So they will replenish at a pretty rapid rate too. So like I've literally chopped down all of this a couple of times. So they'll go across and they will harvest all of the trees, and those little black dots are the wood that's being left there. You can also instead of mass cutting down trees like this, you can make what are they called? You can make tree fields where they will chop down fully grown trees and replant them automatically, and they grow a little faster that way, but that requires workers to manage. And I do have one of those, but it's just this. It's pretty slow moving. So like whenever these trees are hit full size, they will go hack them down and chop them and store them here. It's pretty efficient. I like it, but it's not quite as efficient as just like chopping down all the trees. You need to do these in a map with less trees, but this is a very heavily forested map, so it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to have too much housing right now. That's my whole goal currently, is just to have too much housing. Because once we have, air quotes, too much housing, then our numbers can expand quicker. I've got a lot of people that want to move in right now, which is good. Just waiting until all the housing is done. But yeah, to be clear, I'm not complaining I didn't get that job. It was just one of those, like, Like, I think I'm better off just streaming. And I don't feel like I would have done particularly well in a job like that. But, you know. It's just one of those anecdotal things that comes up whenever the topic of people trying to get jobs comes up. How do regions work in this game? Do you start new outposts and other maps? You don't have multiple cities, but if you go to the world map, like, I played this one on here somewhere. That's me. I say that cautiously. Pretty sure that's us. That or we're a little further. Anyway, I'm on this peninsula. I'm pretty sure that's me. But you can invade other cities and occupy them, and then they pay you taxes. But you don't actually get to see them. So you can send armies out to fight them, and you get to see your army fight with their army in the army screen, which is this screen. Or they can invade you and fight you on your land, or they can siege you and you can fight them outside. But yeah, if you pack your army up, ship it over to an enemy place, siege them, win a battle against their army. Like, most of the bigger cities have, like, armies of about, like, 10, 15,000. So I have an army of 170, which isn't much. So if you can pack up your army with enough resources and foodstuffs, because you need to pre-prepare all of the food before you send them out, pack them with all their food, ship them over to the enemy base or to an enemy city or outpost, siege it, win the siege, occupy, they pay you taxes. So it's kind of like DF, except you do get to do the actual battles. Have some personality here? No. This is very much like a macro city builder. Like, they all have their own needs, but they don't really have any personality. Not currently, anyway. I think that's kind of outside of the scope of the game. Because, like, I do have 700 right now. And, like, considering the game wants you to have in the neighborhood of 10,000, it's not a very individual personality driven game. It's much more of a what's the word I'm looking for here? It's much more of a like akin to Pharaoh, where you just have a lot of subjects and they exist, and not so much a you individually are micromanaging subjects. Like, you can favorite people if you wanted to. Like, if you found a certain person with a name that you thought was funny, you can favorite them. And then in this screen, you can sort by favorites. I mean, they all have their own unique names. Hey, look, it's a Gregory. I'm a Gregory. 2-year-old child. That checks out. So, like, they all have their own unique names and their own unique age, but as far as individual personality goes, not really. Not current. I mean, a certain person could get mad and start a riot, but I think that's not something this game really needs. The personality kind of comes from just the way the different species interact. Like, for example, Cantors fucking hate humans for, like, no particular reason. They just get real mad if there's humans around, which I think's really funny. I, too, hate humans. Can relate. So, like, over on the overworld as well, Shin Guards, when you send an army out, you can see your little army on the overworld. And then they'll, like, you know, travel by boat. We could theoretically invade these guys. They have a garrison of 597. That's not too much. So, like, realistically, if I got an army of, like, 1,000, which I've done before, we could attack these guys. Or try to. And I don't know exactly how much food I'd need to get from here to up here, but it is doable. We could do that, and then we'd have access to all of that population for migrants to grow our faction. So, like how granular the art style is. I mean, it's a one-person dev team, right? It's just Jake, the guy who makes it. Jake the Orc. I don't know why I made this into a little housing island, but cool. It's kind of the only reason. Currently it's just war. There isn't even tributes. There's random rebel raids that will spawn and attack you, which is a very basic system, which needs to be expanded upon. And then there's just war. You can tax people. Anybody in your region and the regions you control, you can tax. I don't know too much about how that system works. But if you're willing to cause potential revolts, you can actually, I have administration points I need to put into things. So, you can put administration points into the overall productivity of a certain thing. I'll put some points into infrastructure and one into entertainment. But yeah, you can basically put tariffs on certain resources. So any resource moving within the region that you control, you get paid a portion of that resource. Or you can get it just paid out in cash, which is money, because this game does have money. And it also has supply and demand, inflation, and a stock market. So it does have some pretty ludicrous features. So if you're looking for unnecessary amounts of simulation, the game does that. Hey, King of Knolls. So it's it's got more than DF in some ways and less than DF in others. Although I don't think that comparing this game to DF is necessarily cool, a fair thing to do. And I'm doing that less and less as I've played more of this game, because it is much more of a think Pharaoh on steroids with Total War in there for good measure and a stock market and much more complex financial system. It's more that than a DF-like game. So I wouldn't go into this game thinking this is going to be like DF. It scratches similar itches for sure, but it's a very different game. Which isn't a bad thing. Well, bringing all these extra workers, humans, orcs. And then these guys get more upset. Dungeon Keeper with Crusader Kings? It's more like what would happen if you... It doesn't have the political intrigue of Crusader Kings, so Crusader Kings isn't a fair comparison at all. It's more like what happens when you take Dungeon Keeper, Total War, and Fair and go smoosh. About to go below freezing there? Oh, nice and warm. It hasn't been above freezing in about 6 weeks. Over here, so... And, in order to get knowledge, you need to have libraries and scribes in the libraries. But if for some reason you lose your libraries or you don't have enough workers to work as scribes in the libraries, then your paper will degrade and you'll actually lose technology. Because it's below freezing or because of pandemic stuff? Violet. Because maybe that not bad thing? For both of those reasons? Do I have an eatery over here? I do, but it's broken. Also need to hack down more trees. There's still plenty of wood up here, but... There's already some trees starting to regrow. Well, maybe, the weather should kick in and, make the weather real shitty for a little bit so that you guys can have some time to, get over being sick. Also, I mean, that would mean more time for you to watch stream if the state shut down. Although I'm assuming they'll make you go into work anyway. Does nobody... I'm assuming nobody has even, 4-season tires out there. But regardless, how you doing today, pilot? We're just doing this, and then we're gonna take pictures of dogs later. That's the plan for today. Because the much anticipated Paparazzi releases today. Oh, no, I missed it, apparently. Mashing guards. You have yet to grow a colony to very big. Is there associated FPS lag issues? I have never had a single frame rate drop in this game, period. Like, not even once. So, I do get screen tearing in this game, which I think is weird. I think it's my graphics card, specifically. Like, the 1070 doesn't like this game for strange reasons that I can't quite fathom. But outside of that, I have zero performance issues with this game. I know some people aren't a fan of the super high contrast colors for buildings, for the building UI, but that is customizable. You can change that if you want. So I see it as kind of a non-issue. It's a little bit quirky as to where you change that, but because you have to go into a piece of UI that nobody uses. One more of these in here somewhere. There it is, perfect. But I've had 10,000 once. How do you make your first things to expand? I recommend starting with the Cretonians, because they're the easiest. They're vegetarian, they don't need meat. So the first thing you need to do in this game is just build a big fucking vegetable farm. Just build a big vegetable farm and build a big fruit farm. Build 2 of those. Like 30 by 30. Build 2 of those. Then use the harvest all wild edibles, or just harvest all option, which is or clear all. Yeah, this. So just use the clear all option. Settle somewhere with a lot of surface wood and food. You use the clear all option a lot, and then just what's the word I'm looking for here? Build a warehouse for food storage, and then build a dormitory and a janitor, and then after that just start building a couple of everything, and you'll be okay. The most complicated system to figure out in this game is trading. And the reason it's so complicated is because you put up an offer, you put up an item for trade, and you set the percentage of how much you want to sell, and then the employee goes out into the world, wanders around the world until they find a buyer, then they come back, get the item, go off to the buyer with the item, and then they come back with the money, and then they just go back and forth. So whenever they have enough to take a shipment out, they leave with the item, and then they come back with the item. Which is like a very strange system to like wrap your brain around if you're not expecting it. Like most people expect like a trade screen. You have import depots and drop-off depots. Import depots are the exact same thing. You select a thing that you want to import, and then whenever a trader comes by, and they come by pretty frequently, who happens to have that item, they take the money out of your bank account and leave you a bunch of that item. So, like, there's systems in this game that are, like, weird. But once you kind of, like, come to grips with them, they make a lot of sense. Like, trading was, like, I think the most confusing aspect of this game for me. But it makes a lot of sense now, so it's fine. Your problem with build colors is everything being the same color. It's a bit difficult to extinguish exactly what you were doing. You prefer semi-transparent stuff instead? What do you mean? I mean, it is transparent. What? I'm confused. When I say, like, bright build colors, I mean, like, this is a very harsh blue color. I'm placing, like, housing stuff. But, I mean, if you have direct feedback for this game, literally just, like, at the dev and the Steam forums, or just, like, send him a DM on Twitter. He's super open to feedback. Like, incredibly open to feedback. Also, speaking of, I wonder if he added a hotkey for the search function yet. No, I don't think he did. But like, a little tidbit that I could show you is if you zoom out, you can hit show rooms, and it actually gives you these neat little icons over top of everything, so I can turn off the resource indicators. So you can immediately see what all my farm types are. We got fruit farm, fruit farm, fruit farm, fruit farm, fruit farm. These are all veggie farms. All of the livestock, housing, more housing, more housing. All of my import and export depots, my 2 graveyards, the little arena that we have, the libraries that I have. Are pretty much monochrome. If you could see the thing you are going to build as it would look finished, but just semi-transparent. Oh, so you're saying instead of like just the blue outline, you want to see like this. Okay, I get it. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. I actually really like the way the buildings look. I just think the colors are a little harsh sometimes. Oh, hey, sub badges just reappeared. Literally, they just popped back into existence on my screen. Also, scrolling back up in chat a bit, that's terrifying, Pilot. I hope that, like, the demolition derby isn't that bad. And I hope you don't need to go into work if you get snow or anything. 'Cause that seems kind of terrifying. You've got a capable car? Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. You can be the best driver in the world and have a very, very good vehicle that is prepped for cold weather, and some asshole slams into the side of you while you're driving. So it doesn't matter how good your car is. What matters is whether or not other people come flying into you as you're driving. So, like, you know, just be safe out there, yeah? Just be safe out there. Kind of hoping for a snow day. Or just a, guys, everything's frozen. Don't go outside. It's dangerous day. No, sub count is back. Also, view count is back. Another thing about this game, just like when it comes to visual complexity, is like this is my like 5th stream, I think, of this particular city, and we're pretty far in at this point, right? Starting from the beginning, it's a lot easier to wrap your head around what's going on, but the more complicated and the further in you get, the harder it is to kind of roll with it, I guess, or like keep track of what's going on. But because like I've been playing this since the start, it makes a lot of sense to me. But I could see why it would be less logical to somebody who, you know, maybe this is your first time seeing the city. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at? So I do think it's actually quite clear though. Like this is like a warehouse. This is an eatery. This is a toilet. This is a guard post. This is a dorm. Those dormitories that I've been building. These are nicer housing units. These fruit farms, obviously, like another warehouse. So also, buildings do get constructed pretty quickly. Like, this is a stone mine where they're ripping stone out of the ground and all that. Today, you get to go tell people about getting more money. Oh, are other people getting raises? I mean, that's good. But stay safe on the road, Pilot. Maybe, like, take the plane to work instead of, like, the car, just so that you can skip the flyability. Chat, do you have, do you guys have, emote access? Oh, emotes are back. Good, good, good. Completely unrelated, but I finally got around to updating Hype Train so that they have Crypt Zoom instead of Crypt King. Because Crypt Zoom fits Hype Trains a lot better. I mean, come on. Literally a dwarf in a minecart. Also, I don't think anybody tried, but apparently, up until well, maybe still, people can't subscribe to Twitch streams right now. So, something is definitely borking. Something is definitely borking. Is there like a stream with 1 billion concurrent viewers right now? Like, why would Twitch be breaking? We need another squad of these guys. Because I do have 18 of them. And these guys love being in the military. So they're some of the most enthusiastic militants you can has. So I need to copy another squad training area. I'm going to put this... maybe not right there. We're going to put these close to the arena. And this is my cannibal spot where they can eat bodies. Because, you know, we do have an arena here where people fight to the death, so might as well have a spot to eat them afterwards. There was a guy with 250... that doesn't seem that much. I mean, that is a lot, but that's not too out of the realm of norm for these days. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that would be insane, but... I mean, maybe there's just some big events. Like, all you need is, like, 1 or 2 streams like that, and Twitch does chug a little bit. I know that there's a lot of games right now that have drops. Like that Expeditions Rome game is out with drops. Oh, Minecraft has almost a... okay, yeah, I think I found the thing. It's the Minecraft stuff. Twitch is keeling over because of Minecraft. Even by Twitch standards, this is a lot of people. 135 or 935,000 concurrent viewers is a lot. This is not normal. So, I don't know what's going on with Spanish Minecraft right now, but Spanish Minecraft is happening apparently. Thanks, I hate it, Tekken. Thanks, I hate it. Yeah, that's definitely the cause of it. Absolutely. No questions asked, that is the cause of it. Ah, well. I'm sure it'll sort itself out. Twitch just needs to rebalance their servers. All right, well. Spanish Minecraft runs events every now and then. Oh, yeah. Squid Game in Minecraft. Isn't that just like any other battle royale, but like with minigames? I mean, that definitely sounds like something that would exist. In regards to Squid Game in Minecraft. That definitely sounds real. Definitely believe that. We're building 2 more gladiator training grounds. And another thing that I need to build 2 more of are these. These are libraries. I need more of these so that we can get more knowledge at a quicker rate. Screw the road. Can build around those. I mean, Minecraft is it's just a modding sandbox like anything else. It just happens to be a particularly contortable one, so. Like, to be clear, I'm not mad at all that Twitch is down. It just happens sometimes. As long as, like, it doesn't knock me offline, I'm not upset. So, it's fine. I'm just making cool looking shit. Because that's kind of what this game really is at this point, is just like make a really cool looking city with some neat management around it. Which I'm totally okay with. Let's do that. Housing in around here. Kind of want to fill this up with housing as well. Speaking of, did they? Hey, they repaired the eatery. Perfect. Also, it's minus 27 outside. Damn. In the game, not. The new generations are acting like it's some revolutionary cultural statement, but you recall dozens of games and stories that have said and done everything Squid Game does. I haven't even watched it because I'm almost as burnt out on death games as I am on superheroes. Like, there's two genres of things that I'm just like, all right, been here, done that. I have 15 t-shirts for it. I don't need more. And it's death games and superheroes. It's just repackaged Hunger Games. And Hunger Games was repackaged Battle Royale, which, fight me, is still the better book. I read half of the first book of Hunger Games because my ex liked it. Or rather, my ex's mom liked it. And it was fine. Like, I have nothing against Hunger Games. It was absolutely a passably okay book. But I read Battle Royale before I read Hunger Games, and Battle Royale was a better book. Much longer book, too. Also much denser book. Harder to read. But one of the last fiction books I read, actually. What about zombies? At this point, if someone could do a unique take on zombies, I would take zombies over those. But I'm at the point where I can play zombie video games again, so that's good, I guess. But it depends on the zombies, I guess. I don't ever want to watch another episode of Walking Dead, if that's what you're asking. But for me, I guess it would depend on the zombies. How challenging are they planning to make this game? It's funny, because people talk about it being difficult, this game. It seems to be one of those, like, it's going to be very flexible. I mean, you can make the game pretty combat challenging. Just crank the random raids up to maximum right now. And settle somewhere that doesn't have a lot of resources. Go. I don't find this game particularly challenging at all because it gives you a lot of safety nets. The final, 1.0 version of this game is supposed to have a campaign with a story and cutscenes. So it's really difficult for me to say because I don't know. Difficulty isn't something I focus on, so. But I've had some people tell me that they think that this game is really challenging already, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like not that difficult. But then again, I've had people tell me that I'm a broken person who thinks that games are easier than they actually are, so. Or I have a broken sense of game balance. You know, I actually was watching a Dead Rising speedrun because GDQ happened. And I was watching that going like, man, I want to play Dead Rising again because I never played or finished Dead Rising. A friend of mine had it and I watched him play it a couple of times. I was sitting there just going like, man, Dead Rising, damn. Hell of a game. But at the end of the day, if you're curious about this game, just try the demo, because the demo is the full game. The demo is the full game, but like, I think that currently the demo is about 8 months behind. So he just uploads the full game, but an older version of it as the demo. So you can go play the game from 8 months ago for free right now on Steam, which is like not, what's the word? The same experience, and it's got older bugs in it and older issues, and the UI is not as good, and it's like missing a lot of quality features, but like it's probably your best way of learning the game. Efficient workers allocate. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I need to I'm increasing the workload of the carpenters that I have. I got 2 carpenters. More furniture. Out of furniture, because I'm exporting furniture and using furniture in almost every building I'm constructing right now, so. It's effectively the usual sadistic rich people manipulating poor people for Takeshi's Casual, using the Takeshi's Casual format. I mean, you know, if I really wanted that right now, you want to know what I would do? I would just go fucking play Danganronpa. Like, if I really wanted the sadistic rich people, just like murdering poor people, I would go. I would either read Doubt, or I would play Danganronpa. I could win? Yeah, right? I mean, that's kind of like the same feeling with DF2. But, like, I'll say this about this game. It's not endlessly replayable. It's not perfect. It's not this... It's not, like, Dwarf Fortress depth. It's not fair to compare it to that. It's not, like, blisteringly difficult by any stretch. But it is a really interesting combination of things that I like. I like games like Dungeon Keeper, and this game is clearly made by somebody who likes Dungeon Keeper. I like Total War, and this is clearly made by somebody who likes Total War and the franchise of Total War a whole lot, but realizes that Total War as a franchise is watered down and boring. I like city builders like Pharaoh, and nobody else makes those, and while this isn't quite like that because you're designing your own buildings, this feels like a fun like take on that concept. So I don't know. This game to me is just interesting. And it's unique. There's really kind of nothing else like it. And the fact that it's gonna have like a scenario-based campaign is like weirdly exciting to me. Like I'm super stoked on the concept of this game getting a scenario-based campaign. Like that is actually awesome because there is so few city builders that come out now with a scenario-based campaign as well as a big sandbox mode. It's like you either get one or the other, right? It's very rare that you get both. So. Part of me which wants the Caesar game aesthetic too feels weirdly cozy. Yeah. Can it be one? I don't think so, Illicit. I don't think so. Not currently, anyway. I mean, you can get all of the unlocks. I think winning in this game, for me, basically, is getting the 12,000 population cap. Sorry. Is getting to the 12,000 population cap. And then from there, like invading the whole world, I would say would be winning. But are you listening with audio only, Tekkit? One thing I really like is how long it takes to mine. Like, look at this. This is running at like maximum speed. Like digging out these bedrooms is going to take multiple years. Which is kind of neat. Really like that. Also, this is like, you know, your scaffolds and stockades so we could do public executions. That's another thing is like, this game's like, it feels kind of like Caesar, but like way more brutal. Way more brutal. Very much like a grim sci-fi. Or not sci-fi. Grim fantasy. which I do grim like low fantasy, which is a not really a setting you see very often, I guess. You'd demolish your phone within a week if you kept it in your pocket within a week. Huh. Yeah. Well. This thing, yeah. This is this is a Coliseum. This is a arena. Check this out though. The arena is one of the few buildings in the game that you don't design. So there's 3 sizes. There's Fight Pit, which is like, you know, pretty small compared to our arena, which is this one. And then there's the Grand Arena, which is that. Like, which is like half the size of my city, frankly. Which obviously, you know, we need to build. I actually probably could work up enough materials to make this thing, but I haven't. It's quite the jump. Yes. There's also these, which are stages, because you can make, this is kind of my entertainment district, which is why there's so many people just hanging around. We have like, we have several different taverns around this area, as well as this stage for performances and this smaller stage over here for other performances. So you can kind of like build specific districts. This game's also very moddable, and I think like one of the coolest things about this game to me, or rather one of the coolest things about the developer after talking to him, is just if he ever finishes working on it, so if he ever deems the game done, he's going to open source it, which is like not something you hear all the time, because specifically he wants the game to just keep living with or without him. I think it's neat. But like I said, it's not perfect. Definitely not perfect, but it's interesting. Interesting games. I tried Rise to Ruins. There's something about Rise to Ruins that never quite clicked with me. I have played it. I never played the 1.0 version. I played it a couple of times while it was in early access, and it just never grabbed me. Bit too much of a god game.
My chicken's doing a thing again.
Your chicken's doing a thing again?
Not anymore.
How you doing, Ghost? Hope things are well. There we go. When I crank up the number of soldiers that can be training at one time, because we have 160 odd jobbers. All right, something else I need. Bigger warehousing. Also, I'm building everything out of wood. You can also make stuff out of stone. For whatever that's worth. And I don't even have transporters set up yet, but once we get more points in logistics, increase my... get better fruit farms because they're cheap. Actually, no, not that. Better... veggie farming. That. I get like 3% more veggies, which is a lot when we're talking like in the veggies in the tens of thousands. I haven't seen things catch fire. So I don't think so. Not currently, anyway. I mean, buildings can get destroyed. If you have riots, people will run around and break stuff and destroy your buildings. But I haven't seen any... I don't think there's any, like, fire spreading mechanics. Not Not that I've seen any. One thing I will say is this game does a really good job of like balancing the creativity with like the difficulty, and it doesn't feel like it punishes you for just being creative. Whereas like I felt like RimWorld actively was just mad at me whenever I tried to build something cool looking. And the game's just like, no, fuck you. Build boring shit. Build boxes or we get mad at you. Whereas this game actively rewards you for building creatively. Hey, I actually won. Never happens. But you also got to remember that this game's only been in early access for like roughly a year now. So, and the amount of content that he's added is kind of ridiculous since early access started. The original demo I played had like 7 or 8 buildings and no combat. And almost none of the overworld mechanics worked. So, population is rising. RimWorld's whole thing is let's make a game that is as unfun as possible to play. In the name of challenge. But, which is why I don't like thinking about that game. This game's whole thing from the developer's description is he's trying to make a game that he wants to play that he could play for a very long time. Which is one of my favorite things you can get from a game. It's a game that the developer wants to play that can be played for a very long time. So these people are coming from here and just like walking all the way along here. I think I'm going to make a road along here. At the very least, like, for aesthetic reasons. So let's go down to here. It's amazing how some games can just like attempt to be like something and then contort the concept of what that thing is trying to do so heavily that it just ends up becoming the worst possible version of all things. And that's kind of how I feel about the current state of RimWorld. I didn't always feel that way about RimWorld, especially like earlier on in RimWorld's development. There was a very long period of time there where I really, really liked that game. But just as that game got rebalanced and came closer to a final release, it just became harder and harder to like over time, which is a shame, really. I mean, there's something about this too that's just super satisfying. Like, this is like Factorial drones level of visually appealing. Like, just building a road. These roads don't require any material. These are just gravel, so. Like, there's something about that that's just wonderful. Because this is where people have been spawning. So if immigrants are spawning there, then traders will also spawn there. So might as well give them a proper road into the base. I've seen some spawn down here too, but So we're mostly bottlenecked by furniture currently. I could build more carpenters. They're kind of working at cap currently. Considering carpentry is one of my main sources of income. Be that bad of an idea. Let's just plop 2 down there. I guess the question is how, people on YouTube have stated pretty bluntly that they love watching this game. And I just play games that I enjoy playing, and I enjoy playing this game. So I guess the question is, do you guys enjoy watching this game as much as the people on YouTube? Because I think that this game has, like, kind of a tremendous future as it develops, considering it's got that coveted overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam. I'm just really curious to see where this game ends up, primarily. Tons of stone. There's stone just everywhere. It's just a matter of bringing logs down. Still tons of logs. You really enjoy it? Well, that's good. I'm glad. So there's now 24 new jobs. We have 175 guys that are just working as like basic construction and non-workers. So they will automatically assign jobs. There's 9 people working in here. Set these off of auto-employ. So we've just doubled our furniture output, which is the only thing that we need to construct buildings currently. So we now have our 2 extra libraries up, as well as this warehouse, which I'm removing a bunch of resources from because there are specific resources I'm going to need in here. One of those is blocks. Blocks and wood. I think I'm going to put some of this in here and some fish up here as well. Put the alcohol down. Put in grains, because I need to get some grain farms. Although I might have to just import bread. Because I don't know if I can get grain growing here. You enjoy listening to it while you play the games? What you playing, if I can ask? Also, I'm trying not to shout this out as much because chat made it clear yesterday that they didn't want me doing that, but you should give that podcast a listen if you haven't yet. Tomorrow's my day off, so I won't be streaming. So if you need extra entertainment for tomorrow, or maybe you just like listening to audio things while working or something, or you need something for a commute. The first episode's a wee bit on the long side. They shouldn't be that long every episode. Kind of aiming for like the 1.5 hour mark instead of like the 2 hour mark, unless people want nothing to say. You know, tons of stuff getting mined out. Squad count has doubled. Bring these guys the most. Arm them the most. Lug boys. Was one person? I'm not going to get into it. Doesn't really matter too much. Cutest. Hour is too short. Podcast 1 hour is too short. Hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, I think, is kind of the sweet spot. But go check it out. Go, and if you really want to help us out, and you happen to own a Apple device like an iPhone, if you could leave a review of the podcast on iTunes, it's one of the hardest things to get on a podcast is reviews. This is something that we need. We need masonry. So that I don't need to import blocks, because that's importing bricks is ridiculous. So let's jump up here. This needs a search function. Could get a bathhouse, but I kind of want masonry first. Huh. 2% performance in production on libraries. Knowledge. The hell? Okay, paper maker gives me pottery. That one gives me masonry. Need 150 to get masonry. Got it. Let's just watch them dig this stuff out. Plenty of food in this stockpile. And done. How we doing today, stupid? Alright, so there's this down here. I should probably put this workshop up here. Too big. Let's actually make this thinner. Do 15 by 6. That fits. Can I fit auxiliaries around the edges? Let's make you like yay big. How many metal blocks do I, or metal bars do I have? 60? I've been importing them. I'm gonna have to import some more, I suppose. Lego Loco? Never played it. I also don't do tier lists. I think tier lists are silly. I do recall the Lego games that I remember playing was the Lego theme park game. I remember, or the Legoland game. I think it was just called Legoland. I remember Lego Rock Raiders, RTS, the Lego RTS, which has an open source community, which is kind of awesome, actually. That's still active. There's Lego Racers? I don't have any recollection of ever playing Lego Loco though. Oh yeah, also Lego Island and Lego Island 2. Lego Island 2 was the shit because you could like, you know, actually walk off of the road, which was like mind-boggling. It's like, oh my god, you can go in places that aren't roads? Oh my god! Anyway. Yeah, it's like Lego Rock Raiders Advanced or something. I don't know. Just it's one of those like you need the original game's source code, which you can source from the legal disc that you definitely own, and put it into your disk drive, and it lets you play online and stuff. So as long as you have a disc that you definitely own, that you definitely acquired legally, play Lego Rock Raiders against people. Brings me back to the Math Blasters days. I wonder if anybody's playing Math Blasters in 2022. You know, that's something that Steam is lacking in. Steam is definitely lacking in the pre-digital games era edutainment categories. I could grab a brewery. Let's unlock the bathhouse. Don't necessarily build it yet. And I want to get these temples. Wow. Buildings decrease 25% slower. That's wonderful. You can't believe that you played Simcopter for more than 25 seconds. That game was awful. I can't believe that I played Streets of SimCity for more than 25 seconds. That game was awful. Reminds you of your attempts to find Richard Burns' Rally download in a non-Swedish version? Why'd you want a non-Swedish version? Oh, absolutely. Lego Island 1 is a weird fucking game. A very weird game. Like a truly bizarre mishmash of things. Hey, Wogarden. How's 6 treating me? I mean, this game's pretty chill, so it's been pretty chill. I'm trying to just artificially inflate my building count currently. Right, we also need to get up in here, because this is all coal. And if I want, an even remotely efficient set of bathhouses, we need to get a massive coal mine up in here. But I'm hoping that we can get enough coal out of this coal mine that we can actually just export coal. So. This is gonna take forever. Oh, I mean, yeah. I actually, here's a weird game, or rather, a good weird game. If you want a good weird game. If you want like good modern weird game, you should try playing this. An airport for aliens currently run by dogs. It's the best stock photos of dogs you'll ever see in a video game. This is a slapstick comedy drug trip nightmare thing. Trust me, there's good weird internet video games out there. You just have to know where to dig. Or, you know, like the super popular, why am I blanking on the name of it? Oh, Helix? Yeah, Helix is a weird series of games. It was really popular, has overwhelmingly positive reviews. Oh, this is another one that's weird and good, allegedly. Although I think it would make me vomit post-Void. I mean, overwhelmingly positive reviews. There's a lot of good weird shit out there. Damn, what is the name of that game now? I'm blanking on it. It's the one where you it's like a immersive sim, and then you take your enemy's organs and you sell them on the stock market. What is the name of that game? Fuck. I think would make me throw up if I played it. That's not totally true. Cruelty Squad. That's the game that. Cruelty Squad. That's a perfectly good example of really fucking weird ass game. That's very good. The developer for this game, their Twitter account is one of the funniest things I've ever seen because he's just perpetually confused as to why people like this game. It's just like, you're not supposed to enjoy it. What's wrong with you? There's also that, oh yeah, Rot Flesh. I forgot about that one. There's also that that other game that came out kind of recently. It's on Game Pass that I might try playing at some point, which is the space organ trading simulator pirate thing. Evil Space Pirate Organ Trading Simulator might be the name of it. Anyway. Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. That's the thing I'm thinking. Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. Yeah, that. I mean, I won't click them, but you can link them. EVE Online is beautiful. What are you talking about? Are you saying that EVE Online isn't flashy? Because that I'd agree with. EVE Online is a gorgeous little game. Yeah, I only click on things on stream that I already know. Just for streamer reasons. Also, side note, I kind of hate Game Jolt. It's just like shittier itch. Also, B-Lug, since you're in my chat now, did you see the thing that I linked to you about the Playdate? The fact that Pulp is live and it looks awesome? And people are making, like, kind of awesome tile sets for it already. God, I can't wait for mine to arrive. Be like attacks. Don't I need all of that? Did I? Nope, didn't import the metals yet. Does EVE Online have embedded crypto in it? Not that I'm aware of, but I haven't paid any attention to it. I don't play EVE Online, so. Although EVE Online is on Steam, so I would take that to assume that it wouldn't have embedded crypto in it because Steam doesn't like crypto games. So maybe a foolish assumption, but. What do you mean you have nothing to support? You have lots of things to support. Speaking of things to support, podcasting, me and FG are kind of ecstatic with how well it's done so far. We've had mostly positive feedback. By that, I mean like 98% positive feedback. The only criticisms that we've had are like, Bellinaire was a little quiet. First episode's a bit long, but also we're not going to have that many people on every episode, so. Super excited to see what it turns into. Oh, I mean, like, see, here's the thing, right? People have been like, if we're gonna start saying that the stuff that you can do in EVE Online is similar to cryptocurrency, you might as well just say that CSGO is the original NFT game, right? Because that's basically what you're saying at that point. Which, like, isn't inherently incorrect. Like, that's not actually too far off from the reality of it. It just is... Yeah, I know. It is. They sounded fine on my headphones, but I apparently need to buy shittier headphones to test the exported stuff, but it's fine. I will do that in the future. What's the word I'm looking for here? Twitter just launched NFT profile pics, did they? Cool. That sounds like something Twitter would do. Wave depletion. Woe is me, what up? But also, Cutest, those breaks where Bellinaire and Sui shout themselves out is just like placeholder for what's going to be ad breaks eventually for advertisers. Because like the end goal for the podcast is to make some passive income. Or not passive income, but income for the team members who take part on it. So we are actually trying to go that route. Which means maybe one of these days we get to tell you about who's sponsoring the most recent episode of the podcast. This looks like an interesting game. It is an interesting game. It's not the craziest game, but it's a very ambitious city builder that has a lot of like Total War DNA, a lot of Pharaoh style city builder DNA. Farmland that isn't tiny. Yes. Farmland that fills your fucking screen. This is all livestock. We have like 800 people This is all farming, this is farming, and then this is all livestock. We're making almost all of our income right now selling livestock. Yeah, it also needs to be irrigated, and it needs to be close to water. If it's not close to water, the fertility goes down, and the lower the fertility, the lower output you get. You don't know if that's enough for 800 people in real life. The farms isn't the only food that I have. I've got the farms, I've got the livestock. I'm also importing some, well, not food, but I'm importing alcohol. In fact, I need to increase the amount of alcohol that we're importing. We're also hunting. Maybe I need to increase my exports of stuff. Am I currently exporting furniture? Yes, I am. Let's increase the amount of export. Anything else I can afford to export? Cloth? Yeah, let's increase the amount of cloth that we're exporting. I need my income to go up. I have, like, no money right now. But I actually do have metal. Okay, I can stop importing metal now. Is it on Steam? It's on Steam, it's on Good Old Games, and it's on Itch. It's 25 bucks. If you want to try this game, don't buy it. Just download the demo, because the demo is the full game. Like, literally the demo is the full game. But it's the full game from 8 months ago. The game it's in early access, right? So the demo is the full game from, like, about a year ago. So it'll give you a very good, like, you can work through, like, the really crappy tutorial and kind of come to grips with, like, what the game feels like, because it still feels pretty similar. It's not quite the Patreon method, but it's I mean, because the dev doesn't even have a Patreon, I don't think. But the demo is just the full game. So yeah, Navy went a little insane yesterday. Very much appreciate Navy. He's single-handedly in some ways keeping the stream funded. So this month at the very least. Definitely the VIP of the month. Also, I think it's his birthday today, so if anybody sees a retired Navy vet around, if you see him streaming Dwarfs, pop in and say happy birthday. Well, I mean, it's not really running releases at different prices. It's just like the demo version is just an older version of the game. Yeah, and if you're curious about the game at all, I uploaded a couple of days ago, like last week. I did an interview with the dev of this game, so if you want to hear me talk to him, you could go look that up if you like. We're about to become a coal mining powerhouse, though. Once I get all this dug out, all of this is coal, like some really dense coal deposits, so we can get some really good coal. Once we start getting the coal into warehousing, in fact, I'm going to need to build a new warehouse for it. Because you design all of these buildings individually, but you can just, like, copy-paste buildings. So I'm going to put a warehouse right here, and this is just going to be for coal. Probably coal and ore, because there is actually a mine up here where we could mine ore, too. It's just not very dense, but I still might as well do it. We can get a forge running down here. I don't have the technology for forges yet, but this is going to use a lot of employees, though. Speaking of farming. Need more fruit farms, I think. Need to remove water. Oop. Can farm. And then we will do the opposite up here and pull the water line down so I can just farm all the way along there. But yeah, definitely check out the demo for this game. If you're even remotely interested in this game, just play the demo. Hey, look, trader. Because the demo will give you a very good example of what it's like to play the game. Although, actually, I think that the demo doesn't I think the demo might be before combat was in. Or it might have been, like, the first patch where they added combat. Can't remember. He seems like the correct person to ask about this. Do you know if any free software low-pass filters for Windows? Your headphones are really good. Frequency response for treble, but some games think that they need to hurt my ears for this transgression. Huh. That's a good question. I use a physical mixer. So like I have like a thing that's covered in dials that I can just like twiddle to like increase or lower the bass in my headphones. So I use a physical device, so I actually do not know. Even though I might seem like the right person to ask for that, I do not actually know. Also, welcome to the channel, Gunhead, by the way. Yeah, today's going to be some tonal whiplash because, like, we're playing Songs of Six right now, and once we're done with Songs of Six, I'm going to play Paparazzi, which is the game about taking pictures of dogs that KitFox put out this morning. It's like, that's my plan for today, is this and Paparazzi. We're going to have some tonal whiplash, so hopefully nobody minds. Who are you? Caitlin Gulflinger. Bug people. Why they were all the way up there. Maybe they were in here mining. That's what they were doing. I don't know. Like, mineable resources in here? Answer, not really. Tiny little bit of coal back there. Hold on a second. My life's goal is to create a device that targets cars with loud bass and pinpoint drowns them with weaponized turret recorder. What do you mean by pinpoint drowns them? One of my goals would be to have a company that invents an actual effective method of insulating cars so that they're perfectly sound insulated so that you don't hear the motherfucker's music outside of them. But then they just roll the windows down, so it wouldn't fucking matter anyway. Like, I'm not that close to the underground parking in my building, but there is times where, like, I'll be sitting, like, in the evening, listening to music on my stereo inside my apartment with the windows closed, and I can hear, like, there's this one dude who drives this really fucking loud-ass diesel truck. So you already know that he's an asshole. But, like, it's raised up and it has the, either, like, a high-performance muffler or, like, he needs to replace his muffler. It's one of the two because he's really fucking loud. But this guy will drive out late at night. By late, I mean, like, 10 o'clock at night. I can hear his engine. I can feel the rumble, and I can hear his music over my music. Also, this is the wrong material. Anything else I could put in here? I could put some blocks in here. But I don't have anywhere near enough blocks, so it doesn't really fucking matter. We'll just make it all coal. You need a huge amount of mass to stop sub-bass frequencies. Oh, I know. Larger than the vehicle itself. Definitely. I mean, I was listening to an album yesterday, a CD that arrived, because I checked my mail and a CD arrived. I'm on a quest to own a hard copy of every single one of Holy Fuck's albums, the band Holy Fuck, Canadian band. I'm only missing one now because it's expensive and I don't feel like spending $90 on a record right about now. But their first album arrived the other day, which was only ever put out on CD, so it was really cheap. It was like $4 or something. Bought it, and I was listening to it last night, and I had this realization of like, oh, this is actually kind of loud. So my neighbor who lives right next door to me, I sent her a text, and I was like, because like I have the phone numbers of a few of the neighbors that I've lived next to for ages. I sent her a text. I'm like, if my music ever gets too loud and you can hear it, send me a text. And she just responded with, "You play music?" And I'm sitting there going like, I would have to shout over this to be able to hear somebody else in my apartment. So, I don't know. My building's got pretty good soundproofing, and if I can fucking hear somebody driving a truck in the underground parking, that shit's too loud. Canadian installation? I suppose. I don't know. Like, I've got 2 1-meter tall speakers, a subwoofer, and 2, like, smaller speakers. And if the person right next door to me can't hear it, the people above me probably can. But if the person literally right next door to me can't hear it, that's impressive. She basically stated that, like, from what I can tell, they only ever hear it in the summer when my window's open and their window's also open. That's the only time they hear my music. So, at least that's working well. So these guys are going to make us blocks. And then once we get these mines up and running, we can make the bathhouses. The worst thing for you is when turbo anti-lag systems sound as loud as a bloody shotgun from 50 meters away. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I am a firm believer in reducing 2 types of pollution that you don't really hear a lot of people talking about. The first one is light pollution. Like, firm believer that we should turn off lights. And, like, this is, like, a really bad public safety thing, but, like, there should be a time of day where all city lights are turned off. Just period. Like, it would be terrible for public safety, so it's never gonna fucking happen. But we really should turn our city lights off. Like, street lights. Even if it's just for a couple hours. Like, we really should be doing that. But the other thing is noise pollution. It's like, we need a... Yeah, or like shrouded so they only point down, or like dimmed or something. Because cities are too bright. And the other thing that we really need to do better at is noise pollution. Because when you go somewhere that, like, there's this... I'm going to quote The Matrix and sound like an idiot. There's a really good scene in The Matrix 4 where a character, that is a spoiler if I say who it is sitting in a place and says, "It is so nice and quiet." You forget how loud The Matrix is and how much noise they pump into your ears. I missed this. Turn down the volume. On black asphalt? Maybe we just need more of those. I don't know. Like, at least up here, it's just... I don't know. Turn half the lights off or something. Our planet is glowing. Of course I've seen pictures. I love looking at pictures of Earth. I've absolutely seen pictures of it. Yeah. And the light pollution is something else. Yeah, currently we're mostly just waiting on these to get dug out, and they take forever, so... Oh, we got another import of alcohol. It's good. I think that's going to be one of our biggest imports. Wheat doesn't like to grow on this map, I've learned, so... Also, one reason to buy this game, or reason to not buy this game, depending on who you are, is there is literally a thing on the roadmap that's just hookers and blow, which I think is kind of amazing. This game's literally got a thing. It's to add brothels, but like, there's literally a thing on the roadmap for this game that's just hookers and blow. It's like, what do I need to add to the video game? Everybody's just going to say hookers and blow. So we just put it onto the roadmap as hookers and blow. The roadmap for this game's funny. This talk reminds me of how people with the halogen high beams, blind you sitting on your balcony 5 stories up, 3 blocks away from that thing. Yeah, right? I don't understand how those are legal. It's like, so I have really sensitive eyes, right? Like my eyes don't dilate properly at night. So I have like ridiculously sensitive eyes in the dark. And like it's the difference between me being able to see semi-clearly at night and not being able to see at all. And I don't even drive. And like my mom, when she'll be out driving and like the what do you call it? And then like someone will be pointing their high beams just directly at you, and it's just like, well, can't see anything. So it's like you gotta slow down. I don't know. Shit's wild. Am I sure Chris Roberts isn't developing this game? I think the developer of this game is just not afraid of memes. I mean, if you look at the achievements, scroll down. Oh, hold on. Global achievements. There we go. Just look at some of the names of these. You know, I'm something of a dev myself. Live is temporary. Like, most of these achievements aren't activated yet. Crush your foes. Woodmanship is finest. Timbeer! I like Timbeer. Timbeer might be my favorite. Yep. Dev of this game just has good sense of humor. What? Adding hookers and blow to everything? No, that is not from Star Citizen. That is not unique to Star Citizen. Not even remotely unique to Star Citizen. No. You can have other cities occupied, but you only build one city. Reinhardt. But you can occupy multiple cities. And if you occupy multiple cities, you just get migrants from the other city and you tax them and get more income. But you can have armies in multiple places at one time. I have a question. Why do you want to have multiple cities at one time? Like, as somebody who hates that feature in RimWorld, this game's already got more than enough scale to entertain me for like 30 hours at a time on one city, let alone 2. Because scale? Fair enough. I mean, maybe it'll get there. I don't know what the game will look like when it's done. This game is already overwhelming. I don't know if you need it to be more overwhelming. Sometimes you want to be on a different map for a while. Invade somebody. Because when you invade somebody and you siege them, the battle takes place on a different map. Or if you're sieging somebody else, it takes place on their plains in front of their city. So go siege somebody. The fights can take quite a while if they're big. So if you spend 30 hours in your city, building your city, and you have an army of 4,000, and you go and invade somebody with an army of 2,000, you get to watch that battle on a different map. So, not quite the same thing, but it does give you some different scenery. No, you don't build anything on them. I don't know if that's even in the like roadmap. Best thing to do would be to just like I say, just DM the dev and ask, or post on the on the Steam forums because he responds to shit all the time. I'd say based on the fact that this game positions itself specifically as a city-state simulator, there isn't going to be other cities, but it's fine in this case. I mean, I could see a world where you jump it from map to map, but I've never played a city builder where that feels good. Uh-oh. I did the thing again. I accidentally got somebody stuck. There you go. That'll get him out. This poor guy. Kaipakwai is stuck. Are you okay? Stone? It's tickers and then... You can only invade the capital of each region, but you can siege anywhere on the region. I mean, if you generate a large map, right? There's a capital. 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 Looked like a capital. Capital. Like, if you're worried about, oh, there's a pretty big army. Army of 3,600 is invading this, or heading out somewhere. Because, like, you can have multiple armies stationed, right? So, like, these guys are at war with somebody. Don't know who. Must be these guys. Like, these two are at war with each other, right? So, you can only siege their capital, but if I ran an army over here, I could fight with these guys, and then go fight with these guys. These guys are also pretty injured, or some of them are. Or pissed off, anyway. So it's like, you can only siege the capital, but if they have armies stationed, you can fight with their armies before you siege the capital. Like, this capital has, like, their garrison of 413, but there's another army of 3,600. Just like there's another army of 3,000 there, plus the garrison of 1.7, right? So it's like, yes, you can only siege them, but if there's armies stationed, you can just attack those armies. Assuming you have the resources to do. People are fighting. Also, this is going to make a lot of jobs in a really short period of time. Big canal. So, like, yes, technically you can only siege capitals. But because you can only siege capitals, there's more to it than just sieging capitals. Like, yes, you can only siege capitals, however, because there's also armies involved, there's more to it than just sieging capitals, I would say. Kind of screwed this road up. That's fine. Good wins. Wins, you two. I think we're going to need to build a little bridge across here. delete jobs. Just gonna build all the way up to there. And just farm all the way along here. And they have access to this area as well. This is going to eat through a bunch of my odd jobbers really quickly. But I don't know. This is like the most enthused I've been by a city builder. Whoops. In a long time. Just kind of period. I'm trying to think, like, when was the last time I was this into a city? Probably, like, early days of City Skylines was the last time I was this interested in a city builder. See if I can grow grain here. These are all fruit farms, so. There we go. Looks like we've got lots of grain. I think it's interesting because it was telling me earlier that I couldn't grow grain, but there we go. All right. Well, now that we've got grain, we need to get bread and baking into the uses, into the farming areas. And I love the way these farms look when they're being harvested. They're so cool. Urgh. So good. I love it. You know, it's like, it's this game and Anno, I think, are like the two franchises that I know of that actually do like a decent job displaying the size of farms. Like, I can't think of another game that does a good, like, even remotely decent job of having, like, realistically sized farms. Like, farmland should almost always outsize the size of the city itself in a city builder. And it almost never works that way. I wish I liked Timberborn. I was so underwhelmed by that game. I can't even, like, begin to describe it. I wish I still, I enjoy aspects of City Skylines. I love watching the cars drive around. That's about it. How's the city going? Pretty well. Pretty well. No, the Twitch is not broken anymore. About to hit 1,000 population is the next major milestone, so that's good. We're just barely scraping by being profitable, so that's good. Mostly just do fruit. Put some fish in there too. Because these are all fruit farms, so I'm going to need a bunch of fruit storage. Yeah, to be clear, I don't hate Timberborn. I think it's fine. I was just very underwhelmed by it. It's because, like, the one feature that's really cool about that game is the ability to build up, right? Unfortunately, I already have a game that lets me build up that is significantly more mechanically dense. So it's like, for me, like, why does this exist? Is kind of how I feel about it. All right, well. We've got most of the densest areas. We need a lot of storage in here. This is going to take a fuckload of employees. Not even close to maximum efficiency on this. 6. 9. 2. 5. Getting there. 98. Fuck you, game. 100. There we go. I need a lot more metal than I currently have. I got 77 metal. I need 130. All right, well, we gotta import metal once again. But this is going to be our city's main source of everything pretty soon. Wait, what? We are getting the biggest coal mine I've ever built in this game up and running. Right about now. I'm curious about how many employees this thing's going to take. Probably more than I have is the answer to that. The dwarves are going to love it. I think I'm going to build a bunch of housing up in here. Because I mean, why not? I mean, we've got housing down here, but... Also, we're going to need a tavern up here, probably. Are there cave-ins? When you're constructing stuff outdoors, there is a limited amount of space that you need before you need to start putting supports in. I don't think there's any cave-ins underground. At least not that I've seen. I think, like, the game just kind of assumes that the caves are self-supported. I don't... Yeah. You have a lot more freedom when digging underground. But if you build underground, then you need to start supporting. So if I start putting structures in here, I'll need to put supports in. So, like, these structures I need to put supports in because I'm constructing stuff. But the caves seem to be self-supported. And this is technically an outdoor building. Like, they're not actually putting a roof over this mine. It's a pit mine. So we just need to wait for the next shipment of metal bars. So while that's waiting. So like this, now that I'm constructing, see that yellow area? Those yellow areas are not supported. So I'm going to need to put more pillars in. Like it'll let me build it, but it won't have roofing there, so they will damage the value of it dramatically. Although, personally, I don't like cave-ins all that much. You'd think that, like, miners would know how to automatically support things. I know there's something on the roadmap about natural disasters, so maybe like earthquakes or something. I don't know. I don't exactly know what he's got planned. This is going to be a lot of housing. 789. 97. 100%. When walk-in ways. Turn on some carpet for value. Yeah, I don't know if it's planned. It might be something that's like on the roadmap somewhere. You have to go look at the roadmap. I haven't looked though. I have a feeling that this game's probably going to require some format of pillars, but I don't know. Uh-oh, somebody died. Of what? Murdered? Oh, no. Well, still have 4 prisoners. There goes the cadaver. Where would they take it? Okay. Graveyard. Well. Hopefully they catch the culprit. But yeah, I like cave-ins if they're done in a way that isn't frustrating mechanically. Like a game that has cave-ins right now that's extremely fucking frustrating because it's not clear on how they work is King Under the Mountain. That game has cave-ins right now. But it's very frustrating the way they work in that game. I wonder how that game's doing. I hope it's doing all right. Aw, man. I mean, it's for the best, but aw, man. Concert that I had tickets to just canceled. Well, guess I'm not going to go see Dark Tranquillity this year. I should go check other tickets. I don't feel like just showing you guys my email, but I want to show you guys this, this. Kid Fox sent me this email. I think it broke. Just that or I need a cipher. One of the two. It's beautiful. Is it though? Also, to the person who started supporting me on Patreon an hour ago, DM me your Twitch name. I can send you the perks that I owe you. Looks fucked up. Well, it says CSS brackets at the beginning. They haven't sent out a correction yet, so I guess they haven't noticed. I'm sure someone's already told them. Can be Bixed? Yes, it definitely can be Bixed. Saints Cave-ins seem like a fair risking game. It's like this where your task is mainly planning. You would have to do some sort of fair warning system. Yeah, I mean, I could absolutely see like a, like, you know, hold on. Dig into mountain. Like, you know how you do this, right? And it's all blue. It could just become red at a point when it'll start caving in. Like, that would be totally fair. And I'd be super down for that. I would have nothing against that. They're building my mine. Or, like, automatically put in little supports as they're digging. Like, digging requires wood or something. Or stone. And then they just automatically build little pillars or something. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they could do it. The thing is, right now, the caves generate that are quite large. So because a cave, like this cave mostly is just built on its own. I dug out this tiny corner, but most of this was just the game that did this. So I look at this and I go, well, if the game can just have a thing this big, it's not that ridiculous to imagine that I could have a cave this big. Considering, like, I've seen the game generate bigger caves than that. So there is that to kind of keep in mind. How many employees does this get? 198 employees. Well, that literally employs every single one of my remaining jobbers, which is actually kind of great. Check this. Oh my god, and it's only at 50% capacity. Wow. Doesn't even make me that much coal. Plus 40? Curious what it's going to get at max. It's going to wait and see it cap out once they've actually got everybody in here working. That's a lot of coal. All right, it's time to build a bathhouse. I'll put one up here. I'm gonna do 2 bathhouses. I'm gonna do one over here. So you see, like, I'm connecting all this stuff. I'm gonna need to put pillars in here. I do absolutely love the need to build pillars in your buildings, though. Like, this is... I love this shit. Especially the way it displays it. I think it's super clear and kind of awesome, actually. Actually do it this way. That way. Because I think it looks nicer. How small can I make these? Let's do that. Door there, and a door there. The only thing that I need is more metal. More metal. And then after that, this will be powered with coal. Coal and water. I like that dwarves have won a place in gaming subconscious as the industrious folk, like elves or the poyous magicians and Zerg as the vicious alien swarm. Lemmings and Zoom Beanies. Yes, I like it. Zoom Beanies is one of my favorite, like, educational, air quotes, games I remember playing from my childhood. I remember just the art style of that game being so striking when it was new. Amind, yeah, this is a cool game. Cool game. I've never had a lag hiccup in this game, just period. Like I said, I do get some screen tearing, but I've never had any lag in this game at all, period. I've never had a crash either. It used to have this really weird issue though, where moving the throne or starting a new game would crash OBS. And I wasn't quite able to figure out what the cause of that was, period. I reported it to the dev and he said K. And there was never any patch notes about it, but it doesn't happen anymore. So I assume he fixed it. I did have a really weird issue with this briefly, but also, man, you guys got really pissed off. You're like, what the fuck just happened? Huh. Do you know about like and do not like race? Like what factions like and dislike each other? Is that what you're asking? Because it's this menu. So you click on this button, and then you select them. And then you go to info screen. And it says what they like. So these guys, the Dandorians, do not like these guys. They don't like the Grithians, and they're kind of indifferent to everybody else. The blue guys don't like these guys. They don't like humans, but they're fine with those two. The elves really hate these guys. Don't like the dwarves, but they're fine with everybody else. The humans are just kind of neutral, and these guys are just kind of neutral. Yeah. But yes, I do know about that stuff. Why do you ask? Also, I mean, your English seems fine. Oh. There is so much data in those menus. Yeah, and most of it's lost on me. Well, not most of it, but a lot of it is. But yeah, certain species very much dislike other species in this game.
Crypt beer.
Hey, thanks for the bits, dude. First bits of the stream. For the $1. T-Laps, yeah, the T-Laps are these guys. So the elves are called Tilapi, or as I call them, the Tilapia. There's the Cantors, which are the blue giants. The Kratonians, which are basically just orcs. Dandorians, which are basically dwarves. Grithani, which are like bug creature things. And then humans. Boring ass humans. Yeah, they're the tilapia. Good taco fish. Yes, exactly. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I did differently to like upset these guys all of this. Wondering if it's maybe I'm missing food. Not thrilled with the work. English is far better than my Ukrainian. This is I can second that. Woe is me. I can second that. That might be part of the issue. Not enough clothing. It's got something to do with it. I'm gonna stop importing metal for a minute. Swap this over to clothing. While I'm doing that, going to double up the number of tailors I have. Add 2 more. But once this is done, this is going to help generalized happiness quite a bit. $2,000 elf, 10,000 bad guys? Damn, that's quite the fight. Yeah, man. I think the biggest fight I've done, because I haven't done a lot of combat in this game, the biggest fight I've done has been like around 1,500 on 1,500-ish. You must have had much better gear. Okay, so I do have coal. Speaking of, this thing's output. Like nothing currently? Very confused by this. Oh. That's odd. I have no interest in the Warhammer Total Wars. So I will just never play them. I like Total War, but I never got into the non-historical Total War games. And Total War is one of those franchises that I have very mixed feelings. Like I really, really, really like Rome 1, like the first Rome Total War, and I really, really liked Shogun 2, and I really, really liked Medieval and Medieval 2. Those are the ones I've played and enjoyed. I played a little bit of Warhammer 1, and I don't like the addition of big spells and abilities. It's just not why I play Total War. I play Total War to like line up my phalanxes, and play a game all about positioning. The second it becomes a game about activatable abilities, I don't want to play anymore. It's great for people who like Warhammer stuff, but also I've got little to no interest in Warhammer as a setting. So Warhammer/Warhammer Fantasy isn't a setting I care at all about in the slightest. So that's not exactly a selling point for me. Well. Hold on. You just think it's cool? I mean, it's cool. It's just not a game I want to play. Like, I'm not denying it's cool. Whatever that's worth. I'm just not going to bring any more of these guys in. So have you been playing this game for a while, Big Dana? I've been playing shortly after it released on Steam, but... How have the morning jams been? Records was pretty chill this morning. Today's stream started off with a really big raid from FG that I was not ready for. I slept like trash last night. I'm doing all right. Just kind of tired, I guess. It's certainly been a week. I'll put it that way. A lot of humans. Okay, so why exactly... Fellow raiders that are still here. I'm not sure how many of them are still here, but... Exactly is this not... They should have more than enough coal. They do have more. I've got... In fact, the coal count is going down. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. They're heated. Perfect. But it's low heating. Wonder if I just need, like, a coal stockpile that's close by. Well, I'm going to try something. It's going to be a stockpile just for coal. Well, it's going to be. Doesn't need to be particularly big either. Someone's going to get stuck back there. But how's Diamond doing today? Hey, our prisoner storage. We got another prisoner. I wonder if it was the one who murdered the guy. More than one person got stuck in there, actually. Overall loyalty is still good. It is going back up, and they're flashing green again. There we go. Now the heating is better. I'm just going to set this to be just a coal stockpile, and it's going to be set to take from other stockpiles. That. Auto-employ. Well, if there is nothing to collect within the radius, the workers will start delivering non-fetching resources to this other stockpile. Fetch is toggle. The delivery man will fetch the resource from other stockpiles that have that have not enabled fetch this resource. It will just fill that up. That's a lot of works. 41 of them. And we've leveled up. Happiness is higher. Probably going to help these guys. Hopefully. Version game? Are you asking what version is this? I mean, it updated last night, so whatever the most recent one is. Is this my first try? No, this is not my first try. Sixth. Trying to like think about how many different cities I've done in this game. There's lots of logic. If you want logic, this game has logic on top of its logic, Tekkit. You're being six-sided today? What does that mean? Family member is having problems with housing stuff regarding under-the-table payment? Oh, that's fun. That's fun. No. So I don't have logistics unlocked yet. Alright, so I should give those people more bathhouses down here doing. Pretty good. That's making me a ton of flour. Happiness is rising. Yay. I'm very confused. Why? What does that have to do with anything, mind? You found it out today? I mean, my favorite, like, dumb tidbit about Google Maps is that you can leave reviews for oceans. Some of them are pretty good. Like, if you want to, like, fall down a weird Google Maps rabbit hole, start reading reviews about oceans. It's a pretty good time. We got plenty of them. A little bit more fish. It's like it's so strange that you can review oceans. Like I don't even know if it's intended. Like I'm not entirely certain that it is. Show global map, please. Okay. I don't generally like being told what to do, but I'll show you the global map for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scan. Because escape doesn't take me back to where I was previously. Iffy, let's just do. Output. The Southern Ocean has almost 3,000 reviews. You should leave a review for it, man. Level 1 technology. How expensive? 600 math. That's what we're doing next. But yeah, that's probably my favorite funny thing about Google Maps is that you can review oceans. There's just something about that will not ever stop being funny to me. Wonder if they're gonna get themselves stuck in here. This I don't actually know. Bet you $1 that they will, chat. Oh no, they don't. Oh my god. They suspend orders, not at the edge, although they lost this one. Never mind. They got stuck. Genius. Buried alive. Baudano, if I'm looking for assistance, I will ask. I'm not looking for assistance, so you don't need to give it for free. This is not generally a channel that appreciates people telling me what to do. I'll ask you kindly to please stop. Metal, am I importing that currently? Currently. So yes, if I would like help, I will ask for it. But if I'm not asking for help, please don't give it. White House. Did not end up being the shape I wanted it to be. That. And that. That's. Sorry that I put those further apart, but those I didn't. Oh, wrong button. And there's a spot there that's a problem. They'll fix that. This will be housing for the miners. Also need to put food stuff in here. One of these guys. Which I can just plop up here, although that's going to be a mine, so. That'll fit. Awkward right there, but. Also, you know, build a custom building. That's effort. I'll do that. Yeah, I don't care. That's not even an English problem. I'm building that, right? Because that's the way I would like to do it. And you are informing me, without me asking you to, that something else is more effective. And I'm trying to explain to you, I don't care. I don't want your advice. So if you would like to give advice, stop now. Because every time you do it, I'm going to have the same response, which is shush. It's got nothing to do with your English being bad. English is fine. It's, I don't want your advice. I don't want your tips. I don't want your help. You are giving me tips, help, and advice without me asking for it. So if you hear me say something like, hey, what's a more efficient way of doing this? Then you could be like that. But because I haven't said that, you're just saying, do this, it's better. No. Like, flat. Just no. That kind of, air quotes, interaction isn't welcome. They need another toilet. Or they're going to need one. Yeah, it's looking nice. I'm quite happy with it, not gonna lie. This toilet's down there. Up you. Yeah. Getting on cloth. Besides, I don't know what your definition of efficient is, but we're kind of getting plus 1,200 coal. That's plenty. Not as effective as you're gonna get. A janitor up here. Feels redundant to just like clean a cave. But this is the world that we live in. Cave cleaners? Pretty much, yeah. It's like sweeping a dirt floor. It was always like a joke in earlier writing in North America. Is just, never want to sweep a dirt floor. You're not going to get very far. Alright, so now we got this pretty nice little space, and we'll put that up there. Be trapped. It was inevitable. At least the game is like sane enough to like tell you that somebody's trapped. Even if there ain't much you can do about it. That helped a lot. Maybe we just needed more toilets for the dwarves. Also, our fruits production has gotten a lot better. We have more charcoal than we know what to do with now. Excellent. Meaning I could very easily make another bathhouse, which I'm going to in a minute. Just need to figure out where I'm going to put it. I'll be down here. So that's about as busy as it's going to get. Let's just do 20 by 8. See how it's like about that. Yeah, that do. Biggest basin. Biggest basin. Benches. The next one that fits. 96. That's pretty good. Can I fit one more of these? Probably not. That'll do. Not gonna lose sleep over that. We're gonna need to wait for more steel bars to get imported, but that'll get done in a reasonable-ish amount of time. Yeah, this now has more than enough coal. Speaking of, I gotta find another noble. You know, I give one of those dwarves a noble position over mining. Actually, quite efficient. You. Industry. East Textiles, Narcot. Forge. Master of Miners. There you go. The dwarves, their favorite job, one of them is now running them. That also seems to be helping. Increasing the percentage quite considerably. I think also if I give them a bathhouse up in here, I think that'll help. Maybe put the bathhouse down here. That might actually, that's where I'm going to put it. I'm gonna put it there. Put one down here. We'll wait for this one down here to be done first. It's going to eat up all of my metals. Actually, I could just copy this one. Yeah, let's do that. Yep. Could cram it underground. Man, it sounds like somebody just fell down a flight of stairs in the apartment above me. I really, really hate the neighbors above me. They're really shitty neighbors. I always aspire to, like, not be the annoying as fuck neighbor, but I can confirm that I have the annoying as fuck neighbor above me. I mean, that's good. Unless you feel that you need spine surgery, but it's good that you don't need spine surgery? I guess that means that you have some format of spine injury and it will heal eventually. You injured yourself in August and it was absolutely crippling. Ugh. Yeah, I've been through back injuries a couple of times and it's not fun. So I'm looking. So I'm gonna show you guys the thing real quick. This is a local music venue that I go to see concerts at frequently. Everything's getting suspended and canceled again. I have tickets for this one, Lebanon Hangover, which is now in June, which is fine. And I have tickets to this one. Everything up to the day before the show that I have tickets for is canceled or postponed. Oh, never mind. Stuff after it is too. And then this one got canceled, which is the other one that I'm sad about. Bets that this gets canceled. Like 9 out of 10% chance right about now. Oh well. I was looking forward to that. It's okay. I'll be fine. Hey! Rip the music industry once again, yep. When the pandemic first began, back in the early days, back in the early days of the pandemic, I actually donated $100 to that music venue because they needed, it was like, because their rent is like more than a couple $1,000s a month to keep the building. I threw as much as I could afford at them, but uh-oh. Children are out of food. Got children starving to death. That's concerning. I do have enough food for them. Maybe I'm just overworking people too much. All children. All right. Increase the number of workers at these. You gotta go buy some vinyl on Bandcamp, but you keep forgetting. I mean, it's easy as fuck for DJs to just sit down and stream because DJs are just a dude, right? Generally, maybe like a duo. So that's really easy. But the music that I like to see the most is like metal. And it's a lot harder for bands. And also, you know, live streams are great, but it's not the same thing. Like when it comes to live music, it's like live streams are fine, but they're not a replacement. They're like a holdover. And I don't generally listen to a lot of DJs per se, so. I mean, that's because this to me is a game about designing cool-ass cities, not a game about min-maxing. Like, I realized that there's an achievement for having, I think it's 500 buildings in a settlement. 100 rooms in your city. Have 500 rooms in your city. Yeah. And so I'm just like mass building these tiny housing units to try and make that happen quicker. I think they look pretty cool. Like, I think that this is kind of awesome looking, actually. Like, just the idea of just kind of doing this. Is just way too fucking cool to me. Because I love the way these, like, weird, sprawling slums look. I mean, at the very least, the game has Russian localization. Also, there are people in chat who speak Russian. If you want to just... If speaking Russian is easier for you, you can do that. Just note, I won't be able to read what you're saying. Like, I got nothing against people doing that if they want to. Need you to build with walls. Oh, I see. I screwed up door placement. Or does it just look better? I don't think these count as individual buildings. What part of YouTube financial doom and gloom were you staring at? Wait, what? You don't speak Russian? I mean, I assumed. I can read the like usual curse words, but I'm gonna place an eatery up here. Unless I can cram it in here somewhere. Yes, we're gonna put it in there. But then they don't build the walls, which bothers me. Why are they canceling walls? What setting have I changed? It's the I need to move the doors around setting. Ah, yeah, well, Canadian real estate's a clusterfuck. It's been getting better though, admittedly. In regards to Canadian real estate. We've got some laws in place that makes it like less ridiculous. Which is kind of refreshing. So hard to feel confident about it? I mean, my dream is to buy in Canada. You have a good night, cutest. It is pretty late for you. Sleep well. But no, I understand what you mean. I'm just kind of the housing market is currently in a very large shift. And I have a weird feeling that it's either just going to get significantly worse and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it, or it's going to improve soon. And I think there's like no middle ground. I mean, if you want to talk about like housing doom and gloom, I know that you're like, that's enough of that for the day, but like I was in a position where I almost bought an apartment in 2012. But due to living situation at the time, ended up moving out and renting a place instead. And let's just say that I was just because every now and again I like to like look at local apartments just to see what the current renting prices are. And I found the exact apartment I was looking at, which when I was looking at it and considering putting a down payment on it, it would have taken me another like 6 months of working. If I moved out 6 months later, Toronto, cheap? Fuck no. Outskirts of Toronto, yeah, downtown, fuck no. But that's the same for every city. Like I live in an area of the greater Vancouver area and I pay like nothing for my rent. And I have a nice apartment. But that's because like I a combination of getting lucky, but also like I don't need to live downtown. And a lot of city housing prices are based purely off of downtown prices, not average prices. Anyway, fuck Edmonton. That's all I have to say about Edmonton. I hate Edmonton. Fuck that stupid city. Sorry to everybody who lives in Edmonton, but fuck Edmonton. Yeah, I know. I was in Edmonton in 2019 for a metal festival. Fuck Edmonton. As somebody who can't drive, fuck Edmonton specifically. But anyway, the apartment that I almost bought was $109,000 at the time, and I needed another. It was like $5,000 for the down payment. But ended up moving out instead and renting. That apartment now is valued at $850,000 and is up for sale for $850,000 or up for rent at $2,000 a month. It's like in the same general vicinity of town as I am, except it's in on a nicer street, basically. And I was like looking at that and just being like, man, I would be so much better off right about now if I bought that apartment. I probably would have paid it off by now. That's the sad bit. What do I think of Nova Scotia? Before my body fell apart and I became a disabled person, I wanted to move to Halifax. I love that city. Beautiful. It's not particularly cheap, but it's a beautiful city. Probably my second favorite city in Canada next to Vancouver. Vancouver is my favorite city. Realistically, I probably won't ever really leave here, but there was a good while there where I was like, you know what if I just went to Halifax for a couple of years? I love Halifax. I mean, you live in the place not always because you love living there, but because you have to live there, right? And Edmonton is one of those spots. There's nothing inherently wrong with Edmonton. It's just not a great city to live in for a large number of. You know what's funny? Wait, what? I was also looking at buying a place in Halifax in 2019. I'd actually found a spot and I was getting ready to fly out there and take a look at it, and then my ex left me. The three biggest opportunities I've had in my life were all completely and utterly destroyed by my ex. Different points in my life. Initially, buying a place was canceled because she wanted to move out. Looking at a place in Halifax and almost buying a place in Halifax, or almost putting a down payment or flying out to look at a place in Halifax, was canceled because she left me and my income got super unstable for a bit there, and has since recovered, but it's not something I could do now because now I'm a disabled person and I need to be close to my doctor and shouldn't technically live alone, let alone on the other end of a country without any family around me. It's my doctor isn't even happy that I live alone right now. He's pissed at me. Every time I talk to him, he's like, do you have a roommate yet? I'm like, no plans on getting a roommate, sir. He goes, I recommend you get a roommate. Okay. It's you could die in your sleep. Well, I mean, so could you. Fortunately, I do this job where I sit on my computer and my mom just monitors me all the time and knows when I come online in the morning. So my mom literally uses Discord to make sure I'm not dead, apparently. I like it when doctors are honest to me. I don't it's my biggest annoyance is when people sugarcoat shit. And so whenever I'm talking to a new doctor or something, it's just be fucking honest with me. Just tell me what could happen. It's I used to be really bad at taking care of my teeth, and I used to always get yelled at by dentists. And then At a point when I became an adult, I was just like, yo, just tell me what will happen if I don't do this. And they'll be like, well, this will happen, you'll need surgery, and this will happen, and this. I haven't had a cavity since. It's kind of hilarious in a dark way. I mean, I don't like when people sugarcoat shit. It bothers me. If somebody sugarcoats something, I will, like, not take them seriously. If you bluntly state you will fucking die if you don't do the thing, then I'll do the thing. Oh yeah, it kind of is for the best that I never moved over there, but also the other reason I kind of wanted to move over to Halifax is at the time there was still conventions happening, and flying from Vancouver to Europe is fucking long and fucking expensive. Going to New York takes forever and is expensive. And going to Boston for PAX East is expensive, and going to PAX South was like out of the question because of how far it was. So, like, the only conventions I could reasonably go to were TwitchCon in California and PAX West. But if I was over on the other side of the continent, I could logically go to TwitchCon EU, as well as TwitchCon NA, as well as Boston, as well as New York, as well as PAX South, as well as, like, Gamescom, right? So, like, when I was still very much thinking about the convention circuit as part of my work, moving over there made a lot more sense, but in a post-pandemic world, it makes zero sense. So that was a large portion of it, at least back then, was I would move out there because it's a more reasonable distance to, you know, work that way. We're scared you straight as a kid. Well, I mean, something's gotta scare you. I don't know. Those are like just how I operate. It's the opposite of a debtor. Welker. You want to be a liver and you don't want to be a debtor. You know how I kept on talking about how it took me forever to realize that there was a tech tree here? I only just noticed this. That it, not only is there a tech tree, but it scrolls! Alright, well. What, the tech tree next? You didn't know it scrolled in 159? I mean, maybe it didn't. That's also the thing. I mean, also, I've been playing this version now for like 20 hours, probably. And I only just noticed that. Not exactly obvious. So he put this search function down here. I want a search function for this because I need to find logistics. Where the fuck is logistics? Like, it's like hold my mouse over the thing and like figure it out. Knowledge, K. Warehousing, K. Oh, wait, no, that's what I need. Transport? Yeah! All right, well, ways to go. You can scroll the tech tree in the demo. Well, there you go. Also, hi, 2 Second Hero. Chat, I'm gonna real quick go use the restroom. I'll be back in a moment.